Well, on Tuesday, jury selection began in the case of two parents whose son, Ethan Crumbley, was sentenced to life without parole for killing 4 students at a Michigan high school in 2021. In a rare move, prosecutors charged both of his parents with involuntary manslaughter. Now, this is unprecedented when it comes to prosecuting school shootings, holding a mom and dad responsible. As Jennifer Crumbley's trial gears up, her lawyer plans to call her son, Ethan Crumbley, as a witness, who was just 15 at the time of the shooting. But his lawyers will try to prevent that from happening as jury selection opens up and is expected to last up to 3 days. So let's dive into the mind and motive of this case. Joining me once again is psychologist Dr. Katherine Kuhlman. Katherine, first of all, I cannot imagine having a son in a case testifying against his parents.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine either. I mean, way to pit family members against each other. And people may be wondering, like, what's the big deal?
Right.
You know, he's already in prison.
Right. Serving a life sentence.
A life sentence. And, you know, the interesting thing is that the reason his attorneys have advised him not to testify is that, you know, Ethan still has the opportunity to appeal his sentence and everything. And so anything that he says in these trials could be used against him moving forward. So that's what his attorneys have advised him. It'll be interesting to see if he actually takes that advice.
Okay, let's talk about the jurors in general. Now, especially in these high profile cases, this is a whole lot different from, you know, being called to jury duty.
Yeah.
These jurors, I mean, they are seeing things and hearing things that can be incredibly disturbing. I mean, how do you get past this? I mean, what are they going through during these trials?
They're going through a lot, and things have changed, obviously, in recent history because we have social media. We have phones that are glued to us at all times. And when you're serving on a jury, you're not allowed to be talking about the case. You're not allowed to expose yourself to any information that may be coming in that could bias you or about the case, which means that you basically can't check your phone and you've got to, you know, set away, you know, no notifications.
Right.
And not only that, but what you're exposed to during the course of a trial. So the evidence that you're looking at, the videos, the body cam footage, you know, manifestos that are released. You know, you're really taking a front seat, like an IMAX theater for these jurors, to what actually happened, and that's tough.
So here's what I'm curious, though, because it is so hard on the mind. I mean, are they even allowed to privately talk to a therapist? Because that's very difficult.
So they're not supposed to. One of the things, when I used to live in Colorado, and we worked very closely with the police department during the Aurora Theater shooting trial, and we were talking with the courts about what are you doing for your jurors that are having to look at hear all this stuff. And they said they can't talk to anybody because even as a therapist, we're gonna have a reaction. We're gonna have an opinion that we're not supposed to give.
I was gonna say, you can't, right?
But we're human, and so they advised to wait until the end, but that is a huge mental toll.
So then what happens post-trial?
So ideally, so it's very interesting. A lot of times jurors will form these kind of trauma bonds because they all went through something, you know, this vicarious trauma together. And so they have each other kind of as a support system, but certainly after trial, relying on other people for support, therapy, having an opportunity to finally process what you saw, what you heard, and the fact that you may have to make a very life-altering decision about somebody else's life.
Right. That is a lot of weight, and it can be very traumatic. All right, Dr. Katherine Kuhlman, we thank you so much for your input. It is so fascinating.